Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, and you're listening to the Browns and Beard Podcast.
Hello, tailgaters. Welcome back to the Brats and Beers podcast. We are excited to bring you our first ever sibling athlete interview. We have Brenden and Colin Schooler joining us. Brenden is a former DB, wide receiver, jack of all trades. We're going to get to that later. That played at Oregon and Texas. And Colin is a hard-hitting linebacker that played for Arizona and Texas Tech. These incredibly athletic brothers combined for 625 tackles, 661 receiving yards, 9 interceptions, and tons of other huge plays during their college careers. Please help me welcome Colin and Brenden to the show today.
Happy to be here. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. The first question I do kind of want to get into, though, is I guess when I'm talking about the jack of all trades. So I want to learn more about the position changes for you, Brenden. So I guess you're a wide receiver, you DB, safety. I guess kind of where did that start at, and what happened, or I guess why did those changes happen?
Yeah, so I got recruited out of high school as a safety up to Oregon and had a lot of success my freshman year up there at Oregon. And then once that staff got fired after my freshman year, the new staff that they brought in, we had some guys transfer and some receivers get hurt during fall camp. And so I was approached. I was like, well, we got a bunch of guys hurt. We see that you played receiver in high school as well as DB. Would you mind playing receiver for us for a little bit? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. If that's what the team needs, then, I'm more than happy to do that. And had some pretty good success that fall camp. And so they just kind of asked me to play there for the rest of the season, and then played receiver my sophomore, junior, and then senior year. And then my first year at Texas as well. And then just looking ahead at into the NFL, my dad, who would speak to agents on my behalf, and they would speak to the scouts, said, okay, well, we can see him as a safety at the next level. So kind of once that Herman staff got fired at UT, and then they brought in Coach Sarkisian from Bama, I kind of approached him about it, and then approached Coach Gideon, my safety coach, about me making the switch back over to safety. And then they were both on board about it. And then I miss playing defense. Always a big defensive guy growing up. And same with my brother. Our dad played a linebacker in college as well at Eastern Michigan. So it was just kind of like always what we did. So I missed hitting people instead of being hit all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the switch back, if that's gonna be a better career path for me, or a better way to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty much
makes sense. I didn't know if it was because you hear stories about it's a hands thing when wide receivers go to DB, they can't catch very well, but I didn't think it was that. So I just wanted to ask. Not throwing shade. No, I saw some awesome touchdowns and stuff. So if you're lining up in the slot at wide receiver and Colin is lining up against you, who's winning that battle?
I don't know. We've never had to go against each other. He actually did tackle me once, though. That first year he was at Tech and I was at Texas. So it was like a little bubble screen to the boundary, and he ended up coming in and swiping my legs out. So we never had to go against one-on-one like that. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens. And I know I got speed on him, but he's a lot bigger. So if he ever got his hands on me, it might be a little bit more difficult. But I think it'd be a good matchup.
Yeah.
What kind of shit talk did you say after that hit?
So we both got up and I kind of put my arm around him. I said, I hate you.
True brotherly love right there.
Yeah. We actually got some pretty cool pictures from that game when that actually happened. So it was funny to know like kind of the background behind those pictures. Where like he looked at me and he goes, "I hate you," and I looked at him I'm like, "I hate you too." It was pretty funny.
That's awesome. What would you say is like the most, like in your football careers, what's the most like memorable moment that each of you have had? And not that tackle.
I mean, there's always a couple that come to mind. My true freshman year, when I was at Arizona, we were playing Cal at Cal up in Berkeley, and I had a pass breakup on a 2-point conversion play in double overtime to win the game. That's always something
That's
that
awesome.
I'll remember. Then, in 2020, having a goal line tackle against Charlie Brewer, and that going viral and being a huge play for us that game. That's always something to remember too. And
I was going to say, I actually took that clip on my phone, and I was going to put that as like a little preview before this interview, just letting you know. I hope you don't mind, but
Yeah,
that hit is awesome.
But about that hit, Colin, you threw that Barney, was he the tight end, kind of into the quarterback? So did he get credit for the tackle?
I got an assisted tackle on that one.
That was an awesome hit.
Yeah, and then always playing against Brenden. That was always a memorable thing. And we played against each other in Lubbock, in Tucson, in Eugene, and in Austin. So it's one thing to play your brother that many times, but to do it in different stadiums is kind of a very unique thing too. And that's something that I always remember too.
Did you hate him that much that you didn't want to be on the same team with him, or?
I couldn't stand it. Often. I couldn't sleep in my clothes. It didn't sit right.
That's
I mean, we were pretty close to being on the same team out in Arizona for a little bit, but like that COVID situation kind of put an end to that dream.
Yeah.
So we were damn close one time. But,
yeah.
Well, Brenden, what about you, Brenden, though? What's your favorite memory?
Oh, I would have to say my first career interception, my freshman year up at Oregon. We were playing Virginia. That was pretty cool. My first touchdown against Nebraska in Oregon that next year, that was pretty memorable. And again, Justin Herbert came in the end zone and just like literally leveled me, like tackled me. So it was pretty funny. And then coming over to Texas, just getting to play in like that stadium and like make those big plays on offense and defense. Like I think my first game at Texas, I had like 4 catches for 80 something yards with a touchdown. So it was pretty cool getting to experience that and travel in the Big 12, the Pac-12, getting to see all these cool stadiums. It's just, and then play this goober over here, and secretly cheering for him on the sideline. When he's making big tackles and stuff, I was like secretly cheering for him, but like also like wanting our team to win.
Yeah.
It was just like the whole college career was pretty insane, and just getting to look back at it and kind of reflect on it, like it was, I wouldn't have changed anything, and I had a great time.
Yeah. Are you guys party bros? Do you guys love chugging some beers?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah,
as of right now, it's very strict with training and diet and everything like that. But when the time comes to it, it's definitely something that.
I've seen you in that cowboy hat, and I was like, he chugged some beers. That's funny. I guess right now, so you guys are training, draft, getting ready for draft and everything, just kind of trying to make it to the next level. Is that kind of what you're going through right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Just that 6-day-a-week training day. Train twice a day. On Wednesday, it's 3 times a day. So just out here in that Dallas area, just getting ready for our pro day and draft day. Awesome.
Well, good luck with everything. It's an exciting time. I see you guys training hard. I saw you running some sprints the other day on your Instagram. So I saw that Gary V follows both of you on Instagram. Have you ever met him there or before? Like, what's the connection there?
No. So actually in like 2018, he DM'd me on Instagram, talking about how he likes to watch me play, thinks I'm a really good player with a bright future. And this was before him and his brother started the Vayer Sports Agency. Yeah. So he was basically, I was on their list of guys that he wanted to talk to and sign, and exchange messages. And I told him, I was like, listen, I have a brother too. That's a baller. So you might want to check him out if he fits your profile. That could be something that could fit you guys too. And then, he liked the message, said, and you appreciate it. We'll keep in touch. And he ended up doing the same thing to Brenden. So that's kind of how that went. It was almost 4 years ago where we got that going on.
That's awesome. Drew, I think you had something you wanted to run into, right?
Well, geez, a lot of things have come up now, but first I want to talk about, I think you both were 3-star recruits coming out of high school. Can you just explain a little bit how you guys decided on which school to go to?
I'll go first because my story is a little boring compared to what his was. But yeah, so like you said, 3 stars coming out of high school, which I obviously thought was low for what I was doing. And, Southern California, there's a lot of talent. And we would play teams and blow them out, and they had 3-4 stars on their team or a 5-star and things like that. So it was kind of frustrating, but I got the offer from University of Arizona in December, right before Christmas, after my senior season, and they were my only Power 5 offer. So that was the best offer I had. So I knew I wanted to play, in the Power 5 level. So I was able to do that, but the University of New Mexico offered me as a running back out of high school. So there's for sure a lot of decisions that had to be made. It's like, okay, what position do I want to play, running back or tight end, or do I want to play linebacker, and at which level? But luckily, and small world enough, Marcel Yates was the recruiter that offered me from Arizona, and he's now coaching the DBs at Tech.
Okay.
First year over there right now. So kind of funny how things come full circle.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, and you were playing both ways in high school, right?
Yes.
You were running back in high school. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, but his story is crazier than mine was.
Yeah.
Because I actually got to sign on signing day.
I didn't even sign on signing day. So after my senior year, I didn't have any offers. Like after senior year, and we ended up going 16-0 and like winning state, and both of us were first team all-state players and stuff. And so I ended up getting in contact with the University of Wyoming and took a visit out there, and like they were my first offer really. And I knew I didn't want to go play out Wyoming, and it wasn't anything to do with like the Mountain West Conference. They got like a lot of good teams, but I felt personally I had like the skill level to go like play at a Power 5 conference, like Colin was saying. And so I ended up not signing with them on signing day. And so no one else came around. And I was actually enrolled at a junior college and missed like the first 2 practices there because Oregon had come in. And I had a buddy who I played with my junior year. It was his senior year. He was a player up at Oregon. And so he was like, hey, Oregon's going to reach out to you. Just like keep your phone by you so, you don't miss anything. And so they ended up coming around, and they had a guy get kicked off the team like 2 weeks prior, and that freed up a scholarship.
Wow.
And they came in and were like, look, we're going to put you through a private workout. We're going to come do a satellite camp at your school. And so I went and got put through a private workout with their DB coach and their head coach and the DC. And so then I would say like 4 or 5 days later, they came back with the offer and signed with them on June 30th. And missed all summer workouts, missed all summer school, just literally rolled up before like 2 days before fall camp. And funny enough, they end up making like the 2 deep at corner. And so I was a corner like during the first game, like I got some snaps in playing corner.
Wow.
And then the second game got moved to the starting nickel. And then the third game got moved to the starting safety, and then we started the rest of the year at safety.
Wow.
So it was
That's wild.
crazy, just like so much nerve-wracking. Like I think my dad probably lost 3 years of waiting for like all that to happen, because I think he wanted it more than I did. And so
Yeah.
it was a crazy experience.
Wow.
I'm going through that.
Brent's from Iowa, never reached out to you. I'll have to have a talk with him.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Nobody wants to play for Iowa, dude.
Oh, well, better than Wyoming, right?
Yeah.
Really.
That's funny. Drew, did you have some more? I know you had a bunch of questions.
Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but I did see a draft profile for Colin online, and Brenden, I did see one for you. Is this something that you make on your own, or?
I haven't made any.
I have not made one. So I don't know.
Interesting.
I also don't know how legit of a website it was, so I don't know who's out there making stuff.
Well, don't look it up, Colin.
Yeah.
And remember, Tom Brady had the worst draft profile, right? So
Yeah.
You know, I have not made, one of those profiles, or I don't have accounts on those websites. I don't know if other players make their own, or if I don't know if it's like a Wikipedia thing where anybody can do it. But yeah, no, that's not me.
Okay, more than likely just that.
Stay focused on the grind. Don't worry about that, right?
That's what we've been doing.
Yeah. Drew, you had one about the draft, right?
Yeah. So recently I was discussing the draft, and I was talking about on a few occasions where like highly sought after players didn't want to play for certain teams. Like John Elway is like the biggest one out there, where he wasn't going to play for the Colts. He's going to play baseball. Bo Jackson. There's Eli Manning with the Chargers. Is this something you guys even think about? Or is it like, I want to be drafted by any team in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll speak for both of us, but I mean, any team that wants us, I'm very willing to do anything that they want, to just be able to play football, I don't know what their situations were, or what other players think, when they don't want to go to a certain team, whether it's, coaching, the way they fit. I know taxes are being a huge factor in some of these decisions for players, but I don't care where it is. It could be in Iowa. I'd still go play there.
What about the Vikings?
100%, I'll go play there.
Oh, right on.
At least they got the indoor facility where they're not flying into freaking like freezing cold like they do in Green Bay.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But with that said, you get your rookie contract, and like your play speaks for it. So that basically you can go wherever. So really, it doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. For the most part, I guess. But
the hardest part is getting like your foot in the door, and just getting on a team, and then our athletic ability will take care of the rest. And so we just ask for like that opportunity to go out and just prove ourselves, because we know what we can do. Our family knows it, and like our friends in our inner circle, they all believe in us and know once we get that opportunity that we're going to run with it as far as it'll take us.
What do you have to do to like kind of get your foot in the door at like different places, or just in contact with different people?
Well, the biggest thing is, making it to a training camp, rookie mini camp, and just, doing what we've been doing our whole life. And that's just, odds have been stacked against us for most of our lives. And, when we transfer colleges, we didn't transfer because of playing time. We transferred in high school a couple of times. It was never because of playing time. So getting on the field has never really been the problem. It's just kind of having people believe in us and actually watch the tape, and not judge me by how I look at my underwear when I run around the field. Go turn on the tape,
Yeah.
So it's like I'm fifth all time in total tackles in college football history. That's not by accident. I did it at two different schools. As team captain at two different schools. So there's no coincidence between the two, besides, okay, this guy can play. So it's just having one of those 32 teams believe in you and give you a shot.
Give you a chance.
And once that happens, I'm fully confident that I'll be successful no matter where I play at.
That's awesome. No, so do you guys have like specific like pregame or postgame meals that you guys would have? Any like rituals or anything you would do?
I know I don't. I'm pretty relaxed on game day. There's been some times where I'm trying to get all jacked up, listening to some crazy music, get myself going, and then next thing you know, you're just running around out there, not even thinking, making mistakes that you wouldn't have made before. So I like to be calm and collective, and just trust the preparation that went into that game, and just knowing what I'm doing, what the offense is doing, what everybody around me is doing, making sure everybody's on the same page. And that's the best way that I play at. I don't know you.
No, I'm the same way. Like I don't try to do anything outside of my box and what I'm comfortable with. And like Colin was saying, just trusting your preparation. And the game isn't won on Saturday or Sunday. The game's won on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And what your preparation was going into the game, like how much film you watch, how much film, the right way you watch the film, and kind of all that stuff. And then when on game day, like I'm more listening to country music, just for like I know like that's what's going to get me in a good mood and a good mindset. But then once you kind of go out for pregame, that music might change. We're a little more upbeat because you're running around, kind of getting that sweat going. then it's back in the locker room, and then it's get your pads on and just relax and just, trust your preparation, trust your ability, and, trust the guy next to you, and then go out there and do what you've been doing, your entire life.
Yeah.
And Brenden, you brought up a good point, because with the Super Bowl, it's all about Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, and like how much they ate every meal together and talked about all their schemes and everything. How much are you thinking about the game outside of practice? I mean, is it a constant thing, or how does that work for you guys?
I mean, I try to go in and get extra film, because you obviously watch it with your position coach, and then kind of break it down. And here's like the general thing that they're doing on offense. They get in this set, or they're running this defense. This is like what you can expect to happen. But it's like going in and seeing those extra hours of film you put in, and like seeing one guy. Okay, well, if this left tackle, if his foot's more even with his other foot, then it's going to be more likely than a run than if he has a wider stance, or just like little hints that a quarterback can give you. It's like those little extra nuances within watching the film, watching the scheme, that kind of help you get a better idea and a better jump on, what might happen next.
Right. And that's what I love. I saw a YouTube video from Colin. They must have had you break down one of your plays, I think. And I love hearing that, because from an outside perspective, you're not seeing these things, and I think that's amazing. And that's why the preparation is so important for every game.
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Throughout a game, teams run a lot of the same plays throughout the course of a game. So you start to catch on, some of the mannerisms in the game, or some of the verbal cues that the quarterback says or the center says. The receivers, when they come in tight and, they need to block somebody, they try to get themselves hyped, like, well, I'm coming down to hit the linebacker. And it's like, all right, well, I know where this ball's going. So it's just small stuff like that you see and feel throughout the course of the game and throughout practice and watching film that gives you an edge.
With how you said you like to be kind of relaxed and kind of reserved before games, do you think Marshawn Lynch was on anything when he was taking 2 shots of Hennessy before the games, or?
I think he's just trying to get in the zone, try to get loose and just not be so tense, because you go out there and you almost exert more energy trying too hard than if you would just go out and just be your normal self. So I think he was just trying to get in the right mindset and, just kind of get loose before a game.
So is that something you guys would do?
I don't know about all that.
Depends on if he's wearing the cowboy hat or not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I just never done it before.
Yeah, I just haven't done it yet. Well, if at the tail ends of your career, if you ever join the XFL, maybe you guys could do that. Maybe that can be a pregame ritual or something.
Yeah, shotgun a beer or something.
There you go. But you mentioned country artists. Who are your favorite country artists? Who are your go-tos to listen to?
Oh, right now, Zach Bryan. I love old school, like Alan Jackson, okay, George Strait, those guys. So anything with like that kind of just, chill vibes, like that's all like I love to listen to.
Okay.
Right now, I probably listen to more Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Chris. Yeah.
Solid voice.
Yeah, no, I love him. Cody Johnson's awesome. But like Brenden said, some of the old school people.
Yeah.
Like George Strait, obviously huge in Texas. Garth Brooks is awesome. You can find his music online somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Some stuff on YouTube that somebody sped up so you can listen to it just a little bit. Yeah. What about Drew? You go.
Well, let's start with Brenden. Brenden, who is your favorite safety right now in the NFL, or who do you like see yourself as most similar to?
I would say Harrison Smith.
Yes. Yeah. I should have worn my jersey. I knew it.
I love watching him play, and kind of being able to play defense for so long. Like you see, like what they see, kind of like, especially when they're coming down and making tackles. You see the proper angles he takes, and you hear Aaron Rodgers talk about, like, whenever they play the Vikings, he's like, I always have to know where he is on the field. If you got a guy like Aaron Rodgers saying that, then obviously you're doing something right. So I love the way he plays the game. I love how aggressive he is when he comes down making tackles. And, his ball abilities and on, in the back end are great too. So I love watching him play the game.
I'm excited he said that, just because I think he's like pushing 32 right now. Yeah. And they're going to have to make a decision but Kevin O'Connell said that he like his new scheme is going to fit perfect for Harrison Smith. And what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's awesome when, you get a DC coming in. It's like, look, our scheme is going to be for you. Like you're our guy. And I got my boy Troy Dye from Oregon who plays up there. And, I've heard him talk about how great just like of a preparation guy he is too. Just like there's so much that goes into it behind the scenes that people don't know about. It's just like you don't just roll the ball out there on game day and you ball out like that. Like you have the athletic ability, but there's preparation and there's so much of the mental game that I think a lot of fans like really don't understand and grasp unless you're like in it and you have to do it day in and day out, especially during a freaking long season like the NFL has now.
Right. And it doesn't help that he had no one to help him on the defensive side this year. So
yeah.
There's that. No shade thrown. Sorry. But Colin, what about you for middle linebacker? Say Eric Kendricks, man. I'm just kidding.
I'll just say, I did watch, I started watching his film about 2 years ago and just watching the way he moves and the way he plays. And he's really good in coverage too. So Kendricks is a good guy to watch. That Bobby Wagner too. I watched him when I was kind of in my junior year. I started watching more NFL film, in the off season just to see like how much movement is not wasted and how they dissect plays and things like that. But one of my favorite linebackers to watch growing up was Patrick Willis and Navarre Bowman. They were for the 49ers. They were awesome to watch. And but I mean, like I say that I play more like Patrick Willis than I would anybody else. I mean, because he wasn't, the big 250 guy thumper, but he was flying around hitting like he was too.
Yeah. Were you guys 49er fans growing up or?
Kind of half-hearted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really had a football team growing up because this was before the Chargers and the Rams moved to LA. So we had the San Diego Chargers, and we grew up a couple hours away from them. And then the Raiders were still in Oakland. They had the 49ers too. So it was kind of like, there was really no close teams when, other sports like baseball and hockey, we had the Ducks and the Angels.
Yeah.
And they were 45 minutes away. So it was easier to go to those games and, be invested in that than it was anything else.
It is kind of funny. I lived in California for a little bit, and like there's just so many different fans of so many different teams. Like there's a ton of Packer fans out there. Like it's so random just because like I feel like they didn't have a specific team to cheer for. So they just all kind of latched on to different teams. And I know the situation now, I guess, helps a lot of people make that decision with what they have available in LA. But yeah, it's interesting to hear that.
My last thing real quick is with those picks, do you guys, so I think Colin, you're 230 maybe, I think 6'1", 230. Are you trying to make any changes for the NFL on weight or height? And same with you, Brenden. Is this something that you guys think about, or is it just based on skill? Because of course, when the draft comes out, this is all they're going to talk about, and we know that. But who really cares, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if it'd probably be specified to a team, it's where if I'm going to be playing a true Mike linebacker, maybe they want to get you a little bigger, or they'll have me playing more out of the box and, lean up, get a little faster, just a little ticks faster. But I mean, I did that in college. I've played Mike, Will, and Sam throughout college. I've played a nickel backer too in, certain packages. So whatever I'm going to primarily be playing, that I'll be able to fit my body to that. But it's kind of fluctuate, 10 or 15 pounds, depending on what the team needs. I'll be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
But Brenden, what about you?
I think the heaviest that I got was like 212. And it's not, I didn't feel fast, but like, I don't think I moved as well in space. So like now I'm like 205 and I feel really comfortable. I feel strong and fast moving at this weight. And just with how the game's played nowadays, it's like you have to be able to move in space. Like no one's running the rock like that, like just up the middle, like power eye, like a true fullback. You don't see a lot of whole teams with that. You see like a lot of 11 personnel and like tight ends that can move now. So being able to move in space and being able to cover guys in space, I think is more important than, being those big thumper safeties coming down that are like 220. So I think where my weight is right now is perfect for how the game's being played.
Oh yeah, man. I'm on the Eddie Lacy diet right now. I don't know where he's at.
Eat everything you see. What is that?
I never understood what the Packers did with that because Eddie Lacy got big and they got rid of him, and then they went and got AJ Dillon.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah. Except AJ Dillon's a lot of his mass is in his legs, and Eddie's was in his belly. So have you guys had any like crazy like injuries, or is there like a time when you got like lit up that you like always remember? Or
I would say the biggest hit I ever took, I can't even remember the player's name, but it was probably because he hit me. But it was 2017. We were playing against Washington State, and they had this O lineman. His nickname was the Continent because he was huge. He was like 6'7", 370. And I got earholed by him. He actually cracked my decal on my helmet. It was split. And I remember I really felt that hit. But other than that, I've never missed a game because of an injury. I've never, had any surgeries or anything like that because of sports. So I've been fortunate enough to play the game and leave healthy and not miss a game because of that. But I remember that's always it. And I was, I was a baby. I was an 18-year-old freshman.
Yeah.
So it was
welcome to the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the hardest hit I took was 2017. We're playing at Arizona State, and I was on the backside of the play. I was playing like Herbert's third read, and it was a dig. And he came back to me late, and I was right over the middle of the field. And one of their safeties came down and just cracked me right in the ribs and knocked the wind out of me. And there's a YouTube video, and it's like one of those WWEs where it's like, watch out. And it's just coming in and just like laying the wood on me and knock the wind out of me. And I'm laying on my back, and I'm trying to talk shit, like, you hit like a bitch. And like, I got so air in my lungs, and I got up, and my whole diaphragm, my ribs were all sore the next day. Like, I got my shit rocked. That was probably the hardest hit I've ever taken.
God. Are you guys like big shit talkers? Do you guys talk a lot of shit when you're out there, or?
I would say I talk more than people would think.
Yeah.
It's really easy. It's not like basketball where you can see everything. There's a mask and if you loosen the chin strap and cover your mouth, there's a lot of things like that. But I'll just say like little phrases like like that's your fault, or like you're my bitch, this and that.
Yeah.
the things like that, or like if they start talking to me, I'll be like, bro, I don't even know your name, bro. You won't even know the scout report. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, you're irrelevant to this game. Like,
and that's just to Brenden. No.
And that's awful.
That's funny. Well, what about you, Brenden? Are you out there kind of the same thing, or?
Brendan's like the head. I'm like, I'm barking at you.
I mean, like, I'll never start it, but if someone's like barking all game long, and like sometimes I won't feed into it, sometimes I will, but it's just like, hey, I always let the yapper dogs yap and like just walk away, just like leave them just like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah,
right.
It's like the shit talking never really got to me, but like the way I think about it, it's like, I know I'm gonna be okay if you talk, but if I talk shit to you and get in your head and get you off the game, I win.
Yep.
And so I do enjoy it. I mean, it's fun. You're out there just like talking shit, smacking people. So and then especially if your teammates are there with you, like it just like kind of just like that gang up on one guy and just pick on him. It's all I like it. I don't mind it at all. So
Brenden, the guy who says I don't start the shit talk is the guy who starts the shit talk.
Colin's like he starts it.
Yeah.
I gotta set the tone for the game.
Yeah. Have you guys ever gotten to like little like scuffles or brawls or anything? I mean, I could see both of you getting into some stuff, like throwing some helmet punches or just gouging some eyes, some stuff like that,
I think I can confidently say, which is not very confident, but I'm pretty sure I've never thrown a punch at somebody's helmet because that kind of, like, why am I going to hit a helmet?
I've never understood that. People like willingly do it. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. I don't know.
Especially like in practice, I've never started a fight just because it's a waste of time. And, when two guys start, like if there's a competition, one-on-ones and they kind of get into it, there's some times where, that's good energy. We need the competition. But most of the time it's okay. We're wasting time here. Like, stop making this about you two. This is about the team getting better. So that's how I feel about all the fighting. And I'd rather, win the game than win the fight too. So that's always something that I've firmly believed in.
Yeah. Now Brendan's going to come in and say, I never start the fight, but I always finish it.
There's been a couple of times where, like, I wouldn't say I threw a punch, but we were playing at Wyoming, and some guy I was running on a kickoff and just yanked the back of my hair, like on purpose. And I turned around and said, all right, I got something for you. And just coming down the field again and just hand right to his throat. And so I was like, don't fucking touch my hair, like type thing. And then there was this time this past season where some guy was just yanking my face mask. And I just open handed, like right in his face. I'm like, quit fucking doing that. So it's like, Colin never like saw the purpose of like actually like closed hand fist, like punching someone's helmet. Like they have the helmet on for a reason. Like practice when two guys start scrapping and everyone's running over there. Like, I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm sitting right here. I'm resting because you guys are going to exert that energy. Like no one needs that. So
especially if it's linemen. It's like, all right, let the linemen take care of that.
Well, Cody, you've been awfully quiet. Do you have anything?
Cody, he's our second half guy.
I gotta apologize. My fiance decided to organize the pots and pans, so I was on mute most of the time. I do got a question for you guys in terms of your agents, like getting you ready for the draft. How do they prepare you for? Because I hear they ask some pretty weird ass questions if you have those interviews. Like, is there any certain way that your agent gets you ready for that, or how do they go about that?
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of getting you ready and expecting, like you said, these weird questions to be asked, and to don't just talk because you feel like the timing is different. Like, I need to respond right now. Like, actually think about what you're gonna say, but also too, don't think too long. So it's like that you need to find the happy medium, but like most importantly, be yourself. Like don't be out of character because you feel like a certain team wants to hear you respond a certain way. But yeah, I mean, X's and O's, those are our dad was a football coach our whole lives growing up. So X's and O's has been something, it's like, should be my foreign language on my degree. But like you said, those questions, like if I asked you, like, are you a cat or a dog person? Mm-hmm. And you say, well, I see the picture. Oh, I'm a dog person. Why? Dogs are loyal. Yeah, but cats are independent. And it's just like, what does it have to do with football? I have no clue. They're going to ask, no matter what you say, it's going to feel like you said the wrong answer.
Yeah.
And a lot of time they ask these questions, especially about like your life, and they already know the answer and they just want to see if you're going to lie or not. So it's just like being truthful, being honest up front. Like if you lie, that's only going to look way worse than whatever they already know about you. Like they know this stuff and they're still interviewing you. Like they're obviously like see something in you. So it's just being truthful, being honest, like Colin said, be yourself. So, I mean, it's just kind of common knowledge, but a lot of people don't have common knowledge, especially when talking to people. So it's just being ourselves and, just answering the questions truthfully and honestly.
I think that you should answer their questions, weird questions, with a weirder question. Just be or just say something like, yes, please, daddy. And see what they say.
What color underwear are you wearing? Like,
yeah.
What underwear?
Yeah.
That would be. You guys can show up like if you ever seen Step Brothers, where they're interviewing you and then the other brothers peeks out behind. You're not wearing underwear.
Like, how about we interview
you? You.
I mean, if you guys, that would be a hell of a commercial. You guys should do that. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to happen here in the next 10 years. So.
And then you guys played 4 times together in college, correct?
Yeah.
Or against each other. And is it the record split 2-2?
No.
Oh no. Oh no. I saw the game in 21 was it wasn't too close, but I didn't think too much further than that after.
Yeah, that was a tough one, and that was humble pie never tastes good. So it was a damn track meet for me that game, just running, trying to make a tackle across the field the whole game. And then the year before that, they stole one. We were up by 15 with like 3.5 minutes left to go, and somehow they found a way to win. And so that was a tough one too. So should be, split, but unfortunately that's not how it went.
Okay.
Any thoughts on that there, Brendan? Anything you want to say?
Better team won.
I know you guys were multiple different sports in high school. Are you guys monster basketball players?
You are.
I'd say I played. I was a 3-year starter on varsity in basketball, but I mean that wasn't because I was pulling up from 40 feet and draining shots. It was more because of defense and kind of being like almost like the enforcer on the team, because most basketball guys, they want to be finesse, no hand checking, things like that. So, and I was big and athletic enough to guard the 1 through the 5. So whoever their best player was, it was my job, to make them, struggle. So that was just something I was good at. And, I played basketball, I want to say, from like 4th grade all the way through high school. So, I mean, I do love basketball, and I like watching mostly the playoffs in the NBA, but, college hoops is really fun to watch. Texas Tech swept Texas this year. It was awesome to watch.
Colin, what was your second best sport?
I would say.
Or sorry, Brendan's. But Colin, you go ahead. I want to hear. Are you gonna say track and field?
I would say the field. Yeah, I did. I was a thrower. I made state my senior year for shot put in high school. So that was something fun, but I feel like part of what made it fun was all the throwers on our team were football players. So we would show up to meets, and we're in sun hats with coolers and speakers, and we're treating it like it's a barbecue. And these guys that throw year round are showing up, and they're trying to get in the zone, and they're screaming when they throw and beating their chest. And it's like, I remember we were at one meet, and I forgot. I didn't hear them call my name that I was on deck, and they're like, "Oh, where's Colin? You're up right now." And I was eating a donut. And I was like, "Oh no!" So I had to wolf the donut down. I had some wiping the glaze off on me, and I threw it. I ended up taking second, and it was a county meet. So there was over 100 different schools there, and I took second and PR'd
That's awesome.
Up a donut hole.
It was the secret substance on your hand. It was that glaze, So,
Colin versus the Screamers.
Brenden, what about you? What were you in?
I would say my second best sport was track. I made it to state my senior year as a jumper and took 11th in the long jump. But yeah, I would say either that or volleyball. I love playing volleyball. I played volleyball for a couple of years in high school, and it helped that our mom went to Cal State LA and played volleyball there. So
nice.
Grew up, playing beach volleyball with her, and then kind of just stumbled on track where I wanted to just get faster, and ended up, I think, jumping like a 20-footer just barefoot in the sand pit one day. And my track coach was like, "Yeah, you're going to start long jumping." So it was pretty cool. And I liked the jumpers because everyone was pretty cool with each other. And when I made it to state, I was the only white guy that was there. And I was the only guy with cornrows though. So it's like I'd have our girl throwers, cornrow my hair before our meet. So it was pretty funny.
That's awesome. You were flirting it up, weren't you? You're like, "Can you do my hair again?" Just being slick.
That's crazy to think you said 11th in state. California State is probably way different than Minnesota State. You're probably number 1 in Minnesota. So feel good about that.
Yeah. And there's nobody with cornrows in Minnesota.
Definitely not. Well, we have cornrows, but no hair.
Not those kind of cornrows.
Cody, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I was gonna do some quick random questions, if you guys don't mind. Some either ors into some random ones.
Yeah.
Do you guys know? I guess we could start with Colin. Do you know Brendan's birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it?
Yeah, or is it that was up the question?
No. Yeah. What is it?
It's May 30th, 1997.
All right. And the other side, do you know, Brenden, do you know Collins?
March 5th, 99.
All right. I just wanted to see how close you were. Beer or wine? I'm guessing I know the answer, but
Beer.
Wine. Beer, whiskey. Oh god. A celebration night. What are you drinking?
Anything wet if it's a celebration.
Yeah. I like that attitude. Do you
Careful
have
with
a,
that term.
Yeah. Go with probably tequila. I love tequila. That goes down pretty easy for me.
Okay. Do you guys have a specific brand of beer that you like best?
I mean, it depends. If you're like messing around, playing drinking games or just having fun, it's like you can't go wrong with some natties. Just some cheap beer. But
Yes.
if you're just like hanging out, watching the games, I like Modelo's, I like Pacificos, kind of those Mexican beers.
Nice.
Yeah, but honestly, it's weird. It depends. Like, if you're outside throwing diets, like you're not gonna, use good tasting beer. You just kind of want.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly right.
No, I'm right there with him. I love good Mexican beer, but it's nothing wrong with a Bud Light. Some good American beer getting in. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who can chug a beer faster?
Ooh, that'd be a good competition.
That would be. Have we ever done that?
I don't think so.
Dang, we might have to have you guys back on when you're done training and do a little chug off.
For real.
We'll do it with you. We'll finish last, but I'm sure you guys are. That'd be fun. No, do you guys have nicknames?
I don't think I do.
No.
I mean, just last name, Schooler or just school. Like most of our teammates say that. But like I don't have, like nobody's walking around going like, hey, Red Bull, calling me a nickname. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always got called Sunshine, just because like from remember the Titans. And then just like my family just calls me B. It's just easier to say than like my whole name.
Yeah.
Those are really
He's a good one.
but those are just the two main ones. Then at the football place, it's just last name, Schooler, school. It's just like schoolboy, like one of those.
Okay.
The opposing team always has a nickname for you. It's probably like motherfuckers.
Do you guys have a favorite like Instagram or Twitter account that you follow?
No, I mean, I'm not very serious about social media. I don't really go on it for that because, there's been days where it's like, oh, I spent way too much time on social media and it was a nice day out. So I'd rather go and do that. But I don't know. I normally just use social media just as like my personal, account, just, build a brand type thing and treat it as like that. I don't really take it too seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I follow a couple of funny accounts. Like there's just one like just college confessions where it just talks about like the stupid things people do in college. It's like, bro, read this. Like, look at this idiot right here. So I mean, I'm the same way with Colin. Just like moving forward, like and taking the NFL serious. Like you have to build your personal brand. So you have to be careful with like what you post, who you follow, and all that kind of stuff because there's people that care about that stuff and take it pretty serious.
Yeah. You guys could have said any Instagram model too. It's fine. We wouldn't tell anyone. Do you have a favorite place that you like to travel, or do you have like a dream place that you want to travel to?
I want to go to Europe. I know that we've been doing sports for so long that, summers are never really like, oh, let's go travel. It's always, oh, we had summer ball or training or stuff like that. So I've actually, besides the states I've traveled to for football, I've only been to like Mexico. I know we took a vacation to Utah to the Zion Park when I think we were in middle school when that happened. But I for sure want to go to Europe and travel and hit all those countries over there and just kind of just venture, and see all those landmarks and all the history behind everything. I find that really interesting. We have friends that go study abroad for a semester and this, I just get so jealous, like, oh, I spent 6 months in Barcelona, and 2 weeks in, they're smoking cigarettes every single day. Like, and they never smoked cigarettes before.
Colin can't wait to go have his first Marlboro.
I feel like it's just a different vibe over there.
Actually, Colin, if you get drafted by the Jaguars, you're lucky, man.
Yeah, you'll go over there.
Play in London over there.
100%.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty lucky. I've got to go to Mexico, like Colin said, and I got to go to Jamaica on a service trip. So I got to knock that one out. But I also really want to go to like New Zealand and Australia and go visit all the way over there, and maybe even like Colin said, Europe, and just go like see like different cultures, see how people live differently, and just kind of be able to, absorb, as much as you can while you're young and before, you start a family and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
New Zealand's an awesome one. I'm that's on my list for sure.
That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you, or I guess, okay. So would you rather have have an interception or a forced fumble recovery? What would you rather have? Interception.
Yeah, it's like huge momentum shift.
Yeah.
If you get to go score off of it, like, yeah, scoring touchdowns are cool, but like an interception, like that could be momentum changing.
Yeah.
Get your offense on the field, and they're hyped that you got the ball back. So it's, I don't know, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
like it messes with the quarterback's head more than anything. And
True.
Yeah.
quarterback, they're prima donnas too. They think the world revolves around them. So,
Yeah.
so letting a quarterback know, like, hey, you're blowing it. They think their own head, and you might as well hand them the ball back, and Josh Allen will throw back at you. That one.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I feel like it means more, and they rotate running backs. So running back fumbles, they'll just put in another one.
Yeah,
it's probably
that's true.
Good. You always want to see the backup quarterback when you play them.
I like it. How many Krispy Kreme donuts do you guys think you guys could eat in an hour?
In an hour?
Yeah.
Together or separate?
Separate. Each of you needs to answer it separately. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I might get sick. So full potential. But
as long as you put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds, that's nice and
Oh
soft.
yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Like down a pretty good amount, maybe a couple boxes.
Yeah.
It may even get up to triple digits.
Yeah.
An hour? Like an hour? That's a long time. Diabetes, but it's a lot.
It's worth it.
Sure.
That's everything that I had. Drew, you got anything? Cody, you got anything else?
I have one last question for them. So if an NFL team was like, hey, I want you to switch to X position, what would be your guys' ideal besides your favorite position?
Well, I know, like, talking to scouts at the College Gridiron Showcase that we played at, I had different teams telling me, like, oh, we think you do better in our system as a receiver. And I know other teams would say, okay, well, we see you more as a safety. So I really think either one of those would be fine with me. Like, I was comfortable playing, both of those at this level, playing receiver and safety, and like having success at both of them. I would be fine with either one of those. It's just, like we said earlier, it's like making the 53-man roster, proving yourself, like playing special teams, and just being valuable to a team, make them have to like not want to trade you type thing. So I'd be fine with either one of those.
I would say I would probably go to fullback. Just how we mentioned earlier, a lot of teams are running spread offenses. Well, that means there's going to be a lot of smaller defensive guys. A lot more nickel backers and dime packages. So it's like you put in a fullback. It's something you could really ruin a guy's day because if I'm blocking a DB, it's over.
Yeah,
right.
Problem with that. And if it's a small linebacker who just wants to run and he has to fill inside where, it's almost like you're in a phone booth, I'm 10 out of 10 winning that. So, and that'd be fun. And it's such an offensive game now. So, you look at it, how many penalties on defense result in an automatic first down?
Yeah.
Almost all, right? Yeah. So, it's like it'd be a little easier to play offense too. And I think that'd be a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. Both of them.
That is.
I can't wait to see Brenden play for the Vikings soon, and I can't wait to see Colin be the next John Kuhn for the Green Bay Packers.
Awesome. Cody, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, take care.